ain't got my own way to go. No time for worries, let the trivial flow. Eyes on the prize, I ain't looking back. Carrying the weight, but I ain't cutting no slack. They say I'm reckless, but I just call it free. Living my truth, that's the way it's gotta be. Tired of the chatter, tired of the lies. I'm flying higher, cutting all the ties. I don't give a damn, I don't give a fuck. Gonna live my life, ain't about to get stuck. Rolling with the punches, dancing in the rain. Laughing at the chaos, ain't feeling no pain. People try to tell me you gotta play it safe, but I'm running wild, I ain't no one's slave. Chasing down my dreams, got no time to waste. Feeling the freedom, loving the taste.
Welcome back, Charles. Welcome back. Fantastic draft we had last night. Fantastic draft.
I'm still cheesing about that draft, man.
You're still cheesing about the fact that we and then I said, "You about to pick your guy?" I already got that guy. Then everybody's all, "Well, who's that guy?" And you're like, "The best damn regular season quarterback."
But it was fun drafting in the bottom.
It was different.
It was less pressure, and due to the less pressure, the performance ended up being better. Both of us being in the top 5 playoff chances.
Yeah, it's very rare that the bottom is It's I don't know, snake drafts. It's just normal. It's just how it is. It's from year to year. You can change that. Obviously, next year we can do it based on how you perform. The worst team can get the number 1 pick, but you still do a snake draft. You know what I mean? Just to even out the teams, get teams better, more competitive.
As we build the dynasty, I agree.
That'll be way more. That'd be way more important, probably. Yeah.
Instead of randomizing it, and it can. Depending on how deep we want to go, we might even be able to build in the schedule.
Yeah, we have full control over editing anything and everything. So that's
at bare minimum, we can start week 1 matchups and then have it randomized from there. But week 1, have it be a rematch of the championship. The
like
2 bottom
1.
teams play each other. Yeah. And then it just works itself out from there.
Yeah, we can even do there's some way to figure out the strength of schedule as well. Based off your team strength, and the weaker team would have a better opportunity, just like they do with the NFL. Like how the Bears got such a great schedule this year.
And forgive me, I have to remove the glasses for this. It's a little bit darker in here. I can't wait to buy the house, get the media room all set up. It's gonna be fantastic.
You're like, and then I can moderate my lighting, make everything to my liking.
Yeah.
Then you can wear the shades all the time. Yeah.
So looking at this, okay. So here's the scores, right, for week 1 right now, and you and I both said that the draft was done.
Yeah.
So I think we're gonna get 6 matchups. 5 out of the 6, I think, are all going to be pre-game.
They're very close.
Within 4 points. 5 of the 6, at least 5 of the 6 within 4 points. I wouldn't be shocked if it's all. So starting off, you've got 124.6, 124.4. Then you've got 118.4 to 115.9. Ooh, this one's different. 121.7 to 112.8. So there's the one. I think
somebody took someone out of their lineup, or somebody is probable or questionable. I think I know what matchup that you're talking about.
Brooklyn Burns versus old Titletown.
Yeah, I think Adam was messing around with his lineup, and he was going to put somebody else in there, but we'll see. I have not seen anybody hit the waiver wire yet, considering that nobody's even played a game. But
another one too. Oh, that's because CD Lamb is out for you. So with CD Lamb in, this one's going to be. You should be projected to win this one. What? 117, 123, and then 119.2 to 119.0. So pretty normal, actually.
Yeah.
Pretty normal, actually. Not too bad. Not too bad. Not too bad.
It's funny. I
How'd you
went and
feel
looked
about the
through.
draft?
Well, I felt really good. I went and looked through some other teams, their schedules, rankings, scores, like you said, like that. And we have the most parity in our league that I've seen from other teams, which is very interesting. Like it was
Yeah.
very balanced draft. Like I don't think there's one team out there where you'd be like, man, I'm afraid to play them. Like you personally, like you're like, oh man, like if this guy doesn't overperform or perform to my expectation, I feel like I'm gonna lose. There's not one team where I'm like, oh, they're that much better than I am. I need to figure out a way to beat them.
As of right now, there isn't, and because it's all fresh in our minds, there isn't a Jalen Hurts, Christian McCaffrey, CD Lamb trifecta coming at you right now. Absolutely. Right. Everything is completely on the board. I agree. Talking about on the board, let's start with a little baseball talk. So we had brought up, I believe the magic number for the Brewers was 16.
Yep, and you were talking 9.5. Yeah,
you were talking run differential.
Yeah, the Brewers lead all of Major League Baseball run differential. The second closest team is the Dodgers with 119 or 117. They gave up 2 last night, so the Brewers are at 139. So they have literally have a 22 run lead and run differential. Yeah, and I believe they've played exactly the same amount of games as the Dodgers. So there's no they played an extra game or played 2 extra games. They played the same amount of games. Brewers have both played in the National League. Both play basically the same teams. And let's be honest, the Central's probably more competitive this year than the West. You've got the Padres and the Diamondbacks, obviously, but your bottom 2 teams, the Giants and the Rockies, the Pirates are 63 and 73. The Reds are 66 and 73. They're only 4 or 5 games, 6 games out of 500, like where you've got 2 teams that are under 500. It's pretty competitive in the Central this year. I thought it was going to be way worse.
You look at the Pirates and you're like, holy shit, they're 17 games back.
But their run differential is only 50.
Then you look at and you had mentioned the Rockies. So they're 32 games back in their division with a run differential of negative 211.
And then let's just break the seal off of it. Then you go to the American League Central, and you've got the Cleveland Guardians with only a plus 74 run differential leading the division. That is a close race between the Guardians, the Twins, and the Royals. And even the Tigers they're 2 games above. Charles, we said this earlier in the year. We go, I want to see what happens after 4th of July. But here are the Detroit Tigers, 2 games above 500 right now for the first time in I don't even know how many years. It's fun. It's nice to see. You're not the bottom of you're not the bottom of Major League Baseball anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, you're not wrong.
Charles, they're only 4.5 games out of a wild card spot. The Tigers. The Detroit flipping Tigers are only 4.5 games out of a wild card spot with 20-some games to play. I never this year would have thought they would be this far ahead of the curve. I think a lot of people had hopes that they would be. Let's just be honest. They don't have the horses. But is Tariq Skubal not in the conversation for the Cy Young this year? If not, who else?
I think he might be the favorite.
He's got to be.
So these next 9 games are 9 or 10 games are very important for the Tigers.
Yeah.
But for me, the final 10 games are going to be the most important. And those first couple in the final 10 are going to be the storytelling. Because if they go 5-5, 7-3 in these next 10, it makes the next situation a hell of a lot better. They're doing a lot better. I think they're 6-3 or 9-1. I can't remember exactly in their last 10.
I believe they
actually
are.
Looking at it right. They're 8-2 in their last 10.
Yeah, they're one of the hottest behind the Chicago Cubs. They're the hottest team in baseball.
9-1.
And then behind them, the Dodgers and the Texas Rangers. The Rangers are completely out of it as far as I'm concerned.
Are we comfortable with the Cubs doing what the Cubs are doing? Because this
No,
is just...
I do not like what the Cubs. Matter of fact, when they started playing against the Pittsburgh Pirates, we were listening to it at work, and Jake goes, "Frickin' Paul Skeens is rolling," and then I think they were down 9-0 or something, or 9-2 or 9-3, and then all of a sudden, I look at the final score and they won 14-10.
Yeah,
they just went off, and I'm like, the Cubs are on paper probably a better hitting baseball team. Obviously, there's better athletes,
well,
there's better players.
Yeah, on paper, absolutely. But something we've seen all year with the Brewers is that paper doesn't matter. It's the play. And it feels like the last couple of years, for one, the Brewers, we haven't had this cushion, but it always seems like the Brewers, in the last few years anyways, have pulled it out. So for me, there's this level of comfortability where it's, yeah, that's what the Cubs do at the end of the season. They play good baseball. Everyone knows that.
That's what the Cardinals usually do. Not the Cubs usually shit the bed, except for the World Series. But yeah, if it was the Cardinals, I'd be more worried if it was the Cardinals doing this than the Cubs.
I think that's where I'm coming from, division-wise, divisionally.
But we also didn't expect the Arizona Diamondbacks to come back last year and sweep the Brewers.
I'm not mad about that. Not mad about that. They made it to the World Series. That was a
arguably
story.
That they shouldn't. That the Brewers were like way better baseball team. I don't know how that even happened. They had better pitching, better hitting.
I agree. That's the same team that went in and I think either swept or lost one to the Dodgers too.
Are we going to be talking about this next year? There's a question for you.
Yeah.
And I know this is something that we weren't going to bring up until the end of the season, but are the Brewers going to be looking at shopping Yelich next year? It looks like they do not need him. They have outfield youth in the outfield. They have power. They're going to have to pay Willy Adames, probably the best shortstop in all of baseball right now.
Yeah.
At some point, they've got to secure their future. And do you want to keep paying an aging?
For sure.
Yeah. Do you want to keep paying an aging player? Or would you rather pay Willy Adames to keep him there for at least 3-4 years?
Do you have the contract numbers?
I believe that Yelich is 2 more years.
So yeah, when you're pulling that, because I think Willie's contract will be coming up.
I believe it's next year. He's in arbitration, so they have to give him a contract next year. Because when you're in your arbitration, he can just hold out and just not play and still make money.
Yeah. The reason I'm wondering specifically, I think that has everything to do with the answer. Yelich has meant a lot to this team.
No, it does not look like Christian Yelich is going to be going anywhere for the Brewers for his entire career.
Before you say, I was just something's telling me that he's.
Wait till you hear this.
I'm pretty sure there was a restructure at some point in time or a re-signing in the last couple of years.
Yeah, Charles, we did something really bad. I did not know the Brewers did this. Milwaukee will be paying Christian Yelich until 2042 when the all-star outfielder is 50 years old. Yelich's $215 million 9-year contract with the team calls for the Brewers to defer $4 million each year from his $26 million annual salary from 22 to 28. So his agent definitely knew what he was doing when he signed this one on the dotted line. So he's pretty much a Brewer for life then.
There's been chit chat. Oh, it got gray outside. It's going to rain. That's weird. There's been chit chat also of the Brewers owner searching for a minority partner willing to take less cake but help fill the table. There's push away from this small market scenario. But the Brewers keep making it into the playoffs. I don't think that's a question. The problem with small market teams, right? Let's just say small market, and we're talking professional baseball, but in the grand scheme of things, it is small market. The problem is that there isn't playoff consistency. And without playoff consistency, you don't get those shared those extra shared revenue checks. Those extra shared revenue checks allow you to pull in other people in the off season. So the Brewers are checking all the boxes. It's whether or not the ownership wants to commit, and I think we're in a good position.
I didn't realize
researching?
okay. So the Brewers have the smallest metropolitan area of all of the baseball teams.
Yeah.
1.5 million, 1.56 million people. That's still not that small. The problem is you need almost everybody to buy into coming to the game. I understand.
And the other kicker too is that it's Milwaukee, and because that's a 1 and not a 3, which is a huge difference. A 1 versus a 3.
Yeah.
Even when we go to the games for our family reunion and whatnot, there is significant portions of the parking area or available parking spots that's wide open. And there's so much else to do that it's not just baseball.
Well, I guess what's disturbing to me is you posted this the other day in the page. What happened with the Chicago White Sox the other day.
Yeah.
That's fucking
disgusting.
Combined 96
people.
That should never happen in Major League Baseball. Ever.
I mean, it's always been a weird marketing thing to me. Like, you would think the White Sox.
It's Chicago. I don't care. You just open the gates at that point and just let people.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
just to make it not look terrible.
You do 3 for 1. You do 3 for 1 deals, and you just. I don't know. There's so much you can do,
sad.
Man. There's so much. Sad. You could keep the ticket. You could leave the ticket prices alone, and you could hit the food vendor. Like, you're losing money anyways. Yeah, you're losing money anyways. You might as well lose 7% instead of 14% every day. That happens,
trying.
Right?
Don't. But this year, that team, even with the low payroll that they do have, which is weird. For the White Sox, you would think it's a Chicago team. They always have had a lower payroll. Obviously.
2021, they won 96 games.
I know. It's just
and won their division.
That team is just up and down all the time. And the fans are just probably the most non-dedicated fans we've ever seen in sports. If they have one crappy season and they just don't show up. Even when the Tigers lost 100 games, they were still showing up in the stands.
Oh, dude, it's been different.
But I guess when you've lost, you had a 20-game losing streak, a 15-game losing streak. Now you're on an 11-game losing streak. I mean, it's got to just be demoralizing as a fan. I don't think I've ever felt that, except with the Tigers, ever. When the Tigers were, I think at one point they were like 15, 18 game. They were like 2-16 or 2-17 to start a season.
It's been real bad with the Tigers.
It's been real bad with Detroit sports. You had I think that same season, the Detroit Lions went 0-16 or whatever it was, too. Anyway, baseball's fun. The playoffs are coming up. We got about 3 weeks before this starts getting real heated with about 8-9 games. Once about 8-9 games get left here, about the 20th of the month, then you're really going to start seeing teams go balls to the walls.
And that's something. Before we jump over to the NFL agreement, we'll go over the Packers 53-man roster real quick. So the wild card right now, the teams fighting for the positions, you have the Braves, Diamondbacks, and Padres. The NL East, you have the Phillies, the Brewers, the Dodgers. You have East, Central, West, Phillies, Brewers, Dodgers. It looks like the Dodgers are probably going to end up with that first place. So, who would you rather us face in this scenario? Because we're going to be facing one of them, the Braves, the Diamondbacks, or the Padres.
Oh, the Braves. The Brewers have absolutely destroyed the Braves this year.
Mm-hmm.
So the Braves don't have anything to combat the Brewers pitching. I don't think they can hit us. I think
the Braves have been injury prone as well. Whew, the Braves have gotten some injuries.
So the Brewers, you can't
No, I'm saying it's a good thing for us.
Well,
The Braves
even
injuries are more significant. I'm a huge fan and a
even when they were
massive
healthy,
supporter
yeah.
or advocate of the Brewers injuries. Our number one guy hasn't even touched the mound this year, with no intention of seeing him at all, whether we make it all the way to the World Series or not.
Yeah.
Freddie's been great, but man, Freddie would be such a huge. At this point, with Tobias Myers doing his thing and Civil coming out doing his thing.
We're going to the end of the month. We're going to the Mets series. The Braves, the Braves are just mediocre. They're 500 above 500, 500 above 500. The only team that's hot that's in the wild card is the Cubs and the Mets. The rest of them keep winning, losing, winning, losing, winning, losing.
Yeah,
I would not be surprised if the Cubs somehow, some way, finagle their way in there to beat out the Diamondbacks. Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised to beat out the Braves.
Schedule wise, because the Braves are seeing the Phillies, I think, at least one more time.
And I'll run down the Cubs schedule, and you tell me if they have a shot. So okay, so they've got Pittsburgh for 3, and then they go to New York. They go to the Yankees. They're actually at home for 3 with the Yankees, but man, the way the Yankees are smacking the shit out of the baseball, that's going to be tough. Then they go to LA.
Yankees pitching, though.
And then they go to LA for 3, and then they've got
Angels
Colorado.
or Dodgers, yeah.
They're done. I think they're done with all the American League after that. That's weird that they played the Yankees that late in the season. I thought they played all their AL opponents early in the season. Well, I guess they sprinkled them in throughout the year this year.
Yeah, everybody plays everybody. So
yeah, I do like that. I do like baseball did that. And honestly, at some
home
point,
and away, I love that. You play 162 games. I can't believe it took this long.
Why can't the NFL rotate that in where every NFC team plays every NFC team? And every AFC team plays every AFC team. And then you only play an AFC team if you make it to the Super Bowl. That would be the equivalent of what the baseball was doing for years with the National League and the American League. I think the NFL was the one that kind of everybody looked at and they were like, yeah, they play both. But because it's happened quite a few times that the Super Bowl teams have met in the regular season. And I looked it up, and only twice, I think, did the Super Bowl team that won the Super Bowl sweep them both times. And I believe it was the Patriots that did that.
Yeah. Speaking of that, go ahead.
No, I know Kansas City did it once with 2 different teams, but I think the Patriots are the only team to do it twice with the same team, against the same team.
Yeah. Speaking of that, we have this week coming up, Thursday.
Yeah, we've got some NFL action coming at you.
We have the Ravens, Kansas City.
All right. Let's touch on this one right away. How do you feel with what the Chiefs have defensively? Because I have their defense, and I guess I never asked for your opinion on it, but offensively, the Chiefs are always going to be what they are with Patrick Mahomes. They're going to score points. Is Baltimore with their newfound? I know how you feel about this because you got two Baltimore dogs, and you need to vulture touchdowns one way or another, whether it be with Lamar's legs or Derrick Henry pounding it through the end zone.
In the regards to week 1,
this is a week that I don't really want to play a Patrick Mahomes. I only have Pacheco, so I really don't care if Kansas City gets smothered in this game because I've got their defense, but it is what it is.
Yeah, I'm probably defense doesn't win you championships. I wouldn't be too worried about it. It's so up and down, right? Because my feelings on Lamar, but this isn't a playoff game, so I'm keeping it strictly to week 1. I really love my chances right now with Lamar and Derrick Henry coming into week 1. You're going to get a lot.
Very difficult to win in Arrowhead, though, especially week 1. But the Detroit Lions did it last year.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's not even so much that. It's just there's going to be a lot of rushing yards in between the 20s. I'm not so much worried about touchdowns as it is passing yards and rushing yards. You give up a lot of that. And the other thing with this too is the Kansas City Chiefs really just got done playing football a few months ago. So I don't know, man. I'm not confident on either side of it. I like the Kansas City defense. I like it a lot for the same reasons that I like the Saints defense. Kansas City plays the Chargers, Denver, and Las Vegas.
I have a crazy fact for you as well when we get to the Packer game.
Yeah.
It's going to be very disturbing, honestly.
Week 1, before you get to the fact, it's something again too that
it's more so about where the game is than and for the fans, that the people that live there.
Oh, cool. Let's hear your fact and then we'll get back to the football.
Okay, so the average ticket price of the Packer game versus the Eagles, the lowest price is $269. The average price is $448. The average take-home income monthly for someone that lives in São Paulo, Brazil, is 443 United States dollars. So who the hell is going to this game that lives there in São Paulo?
Oh, a lot of people are going to the game.
Who can afford that?
That live there specifically?
Yeah, who can afford it? That's what I mean. I'm saying that why have the game here when this is like the favela in Brazil. This is a very poor area of Brazil. Very poor. This is not a very rich country to begin with. Let's be honest.
I'm surprised it's that cheap though.
I mean, $269. You got to think about where it is. These people can't afford to go there. But I'm thinking that's their monthly salary, a month's salary to go watch a baseball game, or not baseball game, a football game.
What's the number of it's 65,000 for the stadium, isn't it?
Hold on here.
60 some thousand.
$66,795. It was once able to accommodate 150,000.
Yeah.
But it was reduced based off maintenance costs and safety concerns.
Yeah. So 66,000. I think there's something like there's a few million people around those areas. I don't think it's not going to be that big of a deal.
That's the average income. So that means there's even poorer people.
But it also means there's a hell of a lot more rich people too. You know what I mean? Like
maybe.
I'm just, bro. We're not going to turn the television on and there'll be 96 fucking people, and the stadium's going to be fucking packed. No. It's going to be
Charles.
Fucking...
That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying how many local people are really going to be there.
I have no idea. It's a global thing. It's intended for a global reach. Locally, I'm sure you've known about it for a couple of years.
I just don't understand. I just am trying to figure out why they picked Brazil more than anything. Well, it's a very poor area.
We went over this in one of our episodes. For the NFL does really well in that area. For one, out of the local fan percentage base wise. But I think the number was like 29% are Packer fans or something like that.
Well, I get you can be a fan. But you could have money to be able to go to the game. I could be a fan of somebody too, but I can't afford to go watch my team in the Super Bowl every year. I guess I just don't understand that they picked. Someone else brought this up, and it's just they were like, this is the NFL pushing their narrative on a country that, it's going to bring in money for them, but they're probably never going to see an NFL team there. It gives them an opportunity to go see an NFL team. But then I looked at the prices and I'm like, damn, a month's salary just to go, you can't feed your family or go watch the Packer game. We know what a lot of people that are dedicated Packer fans are going to choose, but the fact that it's that much just makes you sad, honestly. And that's the lowest price. That's not the average price. That's the lowest price.
As an American who grew up comfortably around capitalistic greed, I guess I'm not as shocked. It's not
the NFL.
Everything you're saying isn't wrong, right? Like I'm not disagreeing with you in any sense. No, this place is never going to get an NFL team, but
no, I know what it is. It's the global market. When somebody brought that up, and then they brought up they were bringing it up to make a point about these poor people, yes, they get to watch it, but he goes, are they even going to be able to watch it on local TV? Is the NFL going to screw them out of? Speaking of, the NFL did not come to an agreement with DirecTV the other day.
Yeah.
So DirecTV is not carrying ESPN, NBC.
Huh.
Yeah, they could or Disney couldn't come to an agreement with the DirecTV.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
I don't know what that means.
To be a DirecTV user.
Yeah.
No Monday Night Football.
No money, probably no football because
you still get the Fox and the ABC.
Yeah, but most of the people, you're not going to get your market. I think the NFL, they won't have any NFL.
They said they'll still have the CBS games and the Fox games. But you said no NBC or
whoever Disney owns. I don't know how many networks he actually owns.
Maybe it's the ABC and ESPN, but yeah. What? Thursday's right around the corner. Usually they get this shit figured out beforehand.
No, I just thought it was. It is ABC.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm pretty sure ABC and ESPN.
Yeah, it's just crazy that they couldn't come to an agreement before the season started. I'm assuming there'll be a last minute we figured it out type deal, and then they'll put it on, and then people will forget about that, and then their cable bill will go up freaking $25.
Do you get baseball on your local channel?
No,
or you got to pay for it now.
Yeah, we got to pay for Bally. Eventually, he was saying that. Remember, we had him on. He said that eventually Amazon's going to take over, and
Amazon is taking over. Yeah,
but they have to wait for that Bally Sports contract to expire with the local TV networks, and before that happens.
All right, fingers crossed. That'll be
exactly. I got Amazon. We watch the games.
So yeah. All right. So week one, and then we'll get to the roster. So week one, Brazil, poor people.
I didn't mean to bash the city. I'm just saying poor people got to pay to go watch the Packer game.
I don't know.
Charles, I was just trying to say it's a sacrifice that a lot of them are willing to make. That's all I said.
I'm sitting here thinking to myself, I knew about this for a couple of years. I'm going to put some money aside. I'm going to take my kid. I'm going to make a memory out of it. It is what it is.
Did you know the first 3 games to start the season, the line is all 3 points for the home team?
Really?
So you've got the Chiefs -3,
the
Eagles -3, and the Falcons -3.
Yeah.
So basically, that's when it's -3. When it's -3, it's a pick'em. So all 3 of these games are pick'ems. Very.
I think it's because what you did last year means nothing, and it's not that I'm so hard on the Lions. I would have been more shocked to see them in the Super Bowl than to see them make the NFC Championship game. They're a good team.
Right.
It's that this type of consistency is so crazy hard that you don't do it with the same pieces, right?
Yeah.
What worked last year isn't going to work in the scenarios you need it to this year.
Yeah.
Good teams are going to recognize that in the first half and come out in the second half and go, now you don't have time to make more adjustments, right? Because I know what you're going to do. And for one, a team like the Lions, they don't make adjustments. They just come out and literally beat their head on the wall as hard as they can. And if the wall doesn't come tumbling down, it doesn't come tumbling down. There's a bunch of teams in the NFL that do that. It frustrates you at times. Where are the adjustments? But so week 1 through 3 in the NFL, to me, it's all about context. And just like the line, I have no idea what the line on week 3 should be until after I see week 2, to be honest with you.
Yeah, if you're an NFL guy,
even after seeing week 1, like there's only so many preseason games now, and you have the joint practices, which are cool, but you have almost nobody playing in the preseason anymore because you have so few preseason games. You have to see who's ready or who's coming forward. It makes it difficult.
Interesting. They don't have it. I wonder if it's not is that a dome they're playing in?
I think so.
I was going to say, because the Packers Eagles, it does not have weather. conditions. So
No, it shouldn't. Now, jerseys have been released. I really like the Eagles jerseys they came out with, that black, the white with the green, the number, but the black helmet, the white jerseys, the black pants. What do you think about them?
I'm pretty good. And I like that. I like the black. Here's the question for you. We were all duped into thinking that the Packers and the Eagles were going to wear different jerseys based off of somebody's apparently it was from some Twitter account that somebody put out there thinking there was like gang wars or something. It literally was fake. The whole thing was fake.
We had a good time talking about it, but like we said on the show, we did say numerous times, the NFL is bigger than what most of us realize, to be honest with us. And they wouldn't be in a situation that was as heinous as the one being put forth.
Yeah. Yeah, I just can't believe that it took as many people as it did. It like flipped the switch overnight.
Well, it
and
never got
literally believed it.
Well, it never really got shut down.
No, it didn't. The NFL never shut it down either. They just let them roll with it. They're like, we'll let these goofballs think what they're going to think. And I guess
does a week 1 loss matter less than a week 1 win against the Eagles?
It's the only time it's going to come back and bite us in the ass if we lose to the Eagles is if it comes down to playoff position. Say the Packers win win the division and the Eagles have the same record and it comes down to it and the Eagles have the one game up, the head-to-head game. I don't believe the Eagles are going to be a wild card team, so I don't think that's going to really affect the Packers much. It's a division game, so it's a conference game, whatever you want to call it. And so it does matter. It does matter.
Now, on the Eagles, it's wild to me because while we do say in regards to winning, what you did last season doesn't matter this season, the same shoe doesn't always fit with losing. For example, Carolina, we all assume Carolina's going to be terrible. Minnesota, the Patriots, where you assume they're going to be terrible. The Broncos. The Eagles last year, over a 10-week stretch, were one of the worst teams in football.
Yeah.
And they had these problems with first-year coordinators and discrepancies with a head coach and a quarterback. And they're coming into this season with the same discrepancies. This time
the same questions are there. The same questions are there.
And first season coordinators again.
Right.
Oh, one's Vic Fangio. That's fine, but
I know
first season coordinators again. So where's this Eagles hype coming from?
There's a lot of people like Mike that will overlook your team's issues in order to put just put the highlighter on it and be like, they do this very well, they do that very well. They got new players, they'll be fine. But the issue stems from the cancer can start with the team in the locker room, and that could be your coaches, like you said, your coordinators, your players not communicating, and they could be all pissed at each other. If that question mark is still there on my team, I start seeing them struggle, I'm going to start worrying about the same shit that happened last year with my team. So yeah, if you're an Eagles fan, you definitely want to see a change. You want to see some leadership out there too.
You had more people leave than you had come in.
Yeah.
And okay, you had Saquon Barkley come in, but Saquon Barkley basically went to a rebound, right? Saquon Barkley's so damn mad at the Giants that he's the only team I'm fucking playing for is the Eagles, because that's going to piss him off, because I want the Giants to feel how they made me feel, right? If you think about this, I say this often, what's the best ability in the NFL, bro? Availability, okay? When it comes to health, Josh Jacobs is healthier than Saquon Barkley. Statistically, over the last handful of years, Josh Jacobs is the better running back.
Right.
I think Jordan Love has a better chance at being MVP this year than Jalen Hurts. I think many people are expecting Green Bay to lose this, and I think at times we've even tooted that horn. But bro, as it's getting closer, I gotta tell you, dude, I think we win this game. I think we comfortably win this game. I think it ends up being like 23-17. And our defense ends up getting a pick at the end, or even a pick six to seal the deal. I didn't see anything at the end of the year with the Eagles.
No, I didn't see any fire that was going to make me think that this team's going to be turned around in one season. Unfortunately, I think the problem probably is Sirianni in the way that he runs that team and the way he coaches. Yeah. If the problem was existing, the problem is still there because a lot of the players that are there are still there, and those wounds are festering from last season that he opened up.
All right, let's shotgun through this roster. Quarterbacks, we've got Jordan Love and Malik Willis. We released Sean Clifford and Michael Pratt. Any surprises there?
Which one actually made the practice roster? I'm assuming it was Pratt.
Yes. Yep. Sean Clifford was released.
Yeah. Clifford had he had a one good game, preseason game last year. Outside of that, he definitely doesn't have the go get him to go. His accuracy is not what we thought it was.
You know what? He came from Penn State. We knew exactly who he was. Yeah. He will be able to hold solace to the fact, though, that he has parallel football cards. Yeah. So something I don't have.
Go ahead.
Yes,
go ahead. No, hit the running backs. Can I go in? This is what I want to hit with the running backs. The Packers are going into this game with only 2 running backs. Marshawn Lloyd is out. He's not playing. So they only have
Jacobs
and Emmanuel Wilson.
Josh Jacobs, Marshawn Lloyd, Emmanuel Wilson. Injured reserved A.J. Dillon released, Ellis Merriweather, and Nate McCray. Yeah, here's the kicker.
You're going in with only 2 healthy running backs, which is scary, considering you're going to a field that you've never played on before.
It's scary. It's scary because of our past. It's only scary, Patrick, because of our
It's scary because history. Of your depth. We know what we have on the bench. And
now this is why I'm saying the past. Josh Jacobs is a dog, bro, and he's been playing with the Raiders. The Raiders' offensive line is nothing to that of what the Green Bay Packers offensive line
but
is.
It doesn't matter. You're still getting hit by the same players, regardless of if you're a dog or not. I'm saying you can't overuse him to the point where that's all you've got and you just keep pounding. He is a dog, but he's not that big of a guy. And eventually, at some point, he's going to get ran down.
But 17, 20 carries, that's not a lot. Do you expect more carries than that?
I expect them not to throw that many times. I expect them to throw more, but the Eagles, you got to remember, the Eagles they're obviously a better defense that we're going to be playing than they were last year. They're arguably going to be better, not worse.
I'm not in that same boat. Josh Jacobs is a workhorse. I'm not sitting here saying you work a workhorse, but a workhorse is only good at doing one thing, and that's working. And Josh Jacobs is a fantastic running back. The dude's a machine, bro. I can't wait. Green Bay hasn't seen something like this, right?
It's basically Eddie Lacy, a better version of Eddie Lacy.
A much better version of Eddie Lacy. Yeah, one that stays healthy and can breathe as the season goes forward.
Are you trying to say that the cheeseburgers weren't that great when you were getting them freebies? The Wendy's Eddie Lacy burger or whatever. It was McDonald's. I don't remember what it was.
I can't remember. I mean, I know I was living in a town that didn't have it.
But you're not at all concerned the fact that he only had 1 carry in the preseason for 7 yards?
No, I'm not. Not even a little bit, bro. For one, Matt LaFleur is a good head coach. And people want to, he got a lot of that with Aaron Rodgers, and it's actually, I think LaFleur ended up making Rodgers look better than he was.
Can I tell you something that you probably don't know?
Yeah, of course.
Did you know Josh Jacobs has never caught a touchdown pass?
Yeah, I can understand that.
197 receptions and not 1 touchdown.
That's going to change. That's going to change this year. I
hope so, because we need more than 7 touchdowns from him that he averages a season. Or 8 touchdowns.
My hot take. That was with the Raiders, dude.
Yeah.
They're a terrible team.
Their offensive line is only 3 or 4 behind the Packers. Oh, you're thinking of the Giants' offensive line. I don't think that. Let's go to
I'm
offensive
just
line rankings last year.
the offense. Okay, listen, the offensive line, yes, and then I'm not going to disagree with anything when it comes to the offensive line, but when it comes to touchdowns specifically, that has a lot to do with what you do in between the 20s more than it does being in the red zone and not being able to get there.
Yeah, they're only 4 behind the Packers on offensive line. Yeah, it's comparable. Obviously, the team is going to make a huge difference. You're talking
The
about
team is going to make a
the
huge
skill,
difference,
all
bro.
that stuff.
Josh Jacobs inside the red zone is going to be crazy dangerous, dude.
I just don't want to see them on a field that they're not familiar with try to win a football game, abuse him to the point where he gets injured and they've got nothing left in the cupboard.
I'm not worried about the field either. Do you know why? Because when soccer comes to American football stadiums, the football field has to replace the grass or artificial turf with better, right? So the grass they're about to be playing on is better than what they're going to be playing on back at home.
Is it turf? It could be turf.
Yeah, I'm not worried about it. I'm not worried about it at all. Even a little bit. In fact, it's funny. We'll probably hear reports later in the same context that football stadiums talk about concerts in the middle of the football season. Do you remember when, what was it, Garth Brooks had a concert at Lambeau Field during the season, and stadium, the ground was all tore up. Groundskeepers were just pissed. It was funny as shit.
Yeah.
Same thing's going to happen.
I don't get why grass is so expensive to replace. It's fucking sod. They got sod farms. Yeah, a sod farm. I can go buy freaking 30 feet of it at
$1 billion entertainment. I don't ever want to hear them talk about cost efficiency.
I know. That's what I mean. You guys spend how much food concessions is dumped, how much beer is dumped dollar-wise every game because of fans cheering and dumping it on the ground. That's waste. So I want to hear it. Raise your ticket prices by 50 cents. 50 cents if you're complaining about. People won't even know.
They just got a check at the end of the year for $400 million. Fuck their ticket prices. They can stay where they're at.
And that's the other thing. The Packers, don't they have a heated field anyway where like the grass is going to grow all year round because they cover the damn thing and then they like rain things go out and the grass freaking grows.
Circling back to running backs, I'm not worried about it, and I believe that's a past scenarios coming into fruition for you and other fans alike.
This next one is
we're
the
about
one
to
that
see a new breed.
The next group of guys is the one that I'm very
the wide receivers.
Yes, their wide receiver core is still a bunch of
Romeo Doubs, Christian Watson, Jaden Reed, Dontavian Wicks, Malik Heath, and Bo Melton.
Did get rid of one of them though that I was very
Grant
sad.
Dubois, Samori Toure, who I believe was picked up immediately. Julian Hicks, that one kind of shocked me. Dimitri Stanley and Jalen Wayne. Tight ends: Luke Musgrave, Tucker Kraft, Ben Sims, injured reserve Tyler Davis, released Joel Wilson, Messiah Swinson, and Henry Pearson. And then the offense, the outside line, we have Jenkins, Josh Myers, Rasheed Walker, Zach Tom, Jordan Morgan, Sean Ryan, Andre Dillard, Jacob Monk, Kadeem Telfort, and Travis Glover. We released Royce Newman, Caleb Jones, Luke Tenuta, Lectus Smith, and Devon Jennings. That's crazy.
Depth, yeah.
The kids and I just met Luke Tenuta at the Green Bay softball game. We got pictures with him and everything. That's a bummer that he ended up getting let go. Maybe you should have been watching more tape.
Yeah,
in the weight room. Good kid though. Should find. Preston Smith, Rashad. Oh, what? Go ahead.
I was gonna say they've got how many? I'm gonna tell you how many rookies made the team. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 of their rookies they drafted are on the team, just so you know.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. That's a pretty good number. Pretty good number.
I like the Green Bay's front office, man. I trust Green Bay's front office. Cornerbacks right now: Xavier McKinney, Eric Stokes, Keyshawn Nixon, Carrington Valentine, Corey Ballantyne. I'm comfortable with our cornerback room. I'm hearing great things about Stokes. If he can stay healthy, that's going to be good news. Keyshawn Nixon, Carrington Valentine, and Ballantyne, both them, good things coming from them. I was shocked to see we kept Ballantyne, but I think his ceiling is much higher than the ones where we released, like Rochelle, King, and Green. I think we just need to stop drafting people with the last name King.
Yeah.
Safety's been here. Safety's been hearing great things about our rookie Javon Ballard there. We got Xavier McKinney, Javon Ballard. Those are going to be some names you're definitely going to want to hear. High CPU detected. Grow up. You're a hooker. Weird. So I'm trying to see if there was there a name that you're interested in. Honestly, I'm pumped to see the defense, but what about Christian Watson?
I want to see from Christian Watson. I want some stretch the field stuff. I want to see him stretch the field with Love, and I want to see him catch the long touchdown pass, or at least make a nice move and get a long gain or something. I want him to get back to what he is, and that's a stretch the field guy for the Packers.
Deep threat and a red zone target guy. That's what I want. Deep threat and a red zone target guy.
And stay fucking healthy. Yeah. Here's where it gets interesting.
Please.
The kicker. Do we have question marks around our kicking game? Abso-fucking-lutely, because I don't care who it is. You brought in a kicker that was released by another team, regardless of what you think. If you think that, oh man, everybody says he's good, he got released for a reason. So they've got Arvidsson from, I believe he played with Tennessee last season. He does have a leg. He's 5'11" from NC State. He's a rookie. It says he's a rookie. I believe maybe he got drafted by Tennessee. My bad. Okay, so we've got a rookie kicker. And then we've still got Daniel Whelan, who kicks the ball freaking a mile up in the air, which is crazy. And Orzik, the old long snapper. It's just sad to see Tyler Davis still on the injured reserve. Man.
Yeah, you've got me thinking about the damn kicker situation. It comes down to this. In the preseason, both them guys missed inside 40-yarders.
Yeah.
We don't need that.
So
whoever we just picked up has got to be better.
I don't think they're going to go to him as a rookie and be like, hey, kid, kick a 58-yarder to win the game. They're going to be like, yeah, we're probably going to go for it if it's 4th and 3.
Possibly. I think
it's probably going to change their mind a little bit when maybe not early in the game, but later in the game, it's probably going to change their mind.
I was going to say, probably we'll see early in the season. I think that the coaching staff won't make the same coaching decisions they made last year, though.
Well, here, one very bright spot, though. I do believe this guy never missed an extra point in college. So he does have that going for him. But they also kick from like the 20 and not kick from the 45.
So he's pretty good from inside 30.
Yeah.
It's all going to be based off of the beginning of the season. I think at the beginning of the season, I'm hoping he gets put into situations where we get to see the leg. We get to see the confidence.
6 and 7 in the preseason.
Yeah. So if he misses early, like we did last season, we kept allowing our kicker to try and kick through it. I don't think we give him that same option. I think if you miss one, we're not going to see him out there again, except for extra points. And then if you miss the extra point, it's going to be what it's going to be. We might be a team this season that goes for 2 until something comes out of the woodwork.
Yeah.
Hell, maybe we draft Michigan's kicker number 4 or in the 4th round this year. I'm excited. I'm ready for it. Thursday's right around the corner.
Yeah, I'm excited for it. Yeah, Thursday we get the NFL starting with the Chiefs, and then Friday evening we've got the Packers and the Eagles.
All right, what game do you want to pick? Do you want to pick the Thursday game or the Friday game?
I'll pick Thursday game. It's fine.
Okay. So who you got? Ravens or the Eagles? Or shit.
What do I got? Unfortunately, I gotta stick with the Chiefs at home. I mean, I don't think they're gonna want to lose at home, but I also don't believe this is going to be one of those like 18, 28 to 23 games. This is probably either going to be a shootout for one, or the Ravens are going to run away with it. They'll win 31-13 or something.
Okay.
I've got the Chiefs I got them by 5. I got them 31-26.
31-26. All right, I like that. Okay, so you gave me the Eagles Packers game, and I'm gonna stick to my guns here. I'm gonna go with the Green Bay Packers. Now I'm getting flashbacks from last season. Massive flashbacks. At the beginning of the season, I picked Green Bay to win, and they kept losing, and then I was like, fuck it, Green Bay to lose, and then they would win, and then all we did was pick Green Bay to lose the rest of the season, and they kept winning. But it's a new season, new tree,
it's a new
adventure,
leaf, right?
new adventure. I've got Green Bay winning this one. I've got it 23-17. I've got Green Bay winning 23-17. It's close early. Green Bay pulls away late.
I can see that.
Is there anything else you wanted to add?
No, I think we're good. We hit it all. We got a nice little episode in here before the NFL starts back up. I appreciate that. That's awesome. I'm excited for our fantasy teams. Very excited to start the season on Thursday.
Me too. It seems like we
both got players going on Thursday, so we got something to look forward to on Thursday.
That's my favorite part of fantasy, Patrick. It's my favorite part is it's added a new element to the games. It's no longer just games on Sunday.
Yeah, I would love to have it. I would love to be able to set the ticker up and have it scroll our fantasy like stats.
Yeah,
I think that'd be cool. I want to figure. Maybe we should get a hold of somebody that knows how to program. And be
one
like,
of these days,
I was
to say, one of these days, bro, we're gonna get one of them sweet tech. What's the proper term these days? We used to call them tech nerds. Don't call them that no more.
Yeah,
tech
we need
geeks or something.
If any of you people listening out there, if any of you guys are really super techy and you want to join the show, Charles and I would love to have you on, and you guys can do some cool stuff for us. I mean, you get all the credit. You get all the credit.
Yeah, take a little bit of effort in the beginning.
Yeah, we've got ideas.
But it'll be worth it. It'll be fun.
Yeah.
Well, save the facts for another day. I believe we gave out some facts on the last live show, so you can go onto YouTube or Facebook, check out any of that if you want to catch any of those. Patrick, did you want to add anything else?
No, I think we're good. Go Pack, go.
Go Pack, go. Thank you, everyone, for all that you do. We're getting into the Burr months. It's funny that the mental health awareness comes around in the summertime when everyone's cheery, but the summer's drawn to an end. This happy Labor Day, by the way.
Happy Labor Day.
You and all of our listeners. Just keep an eye out for everyone. The world's a much better place with you in it, and we love you more.